Your child melts down at birthday parties while all the other kids are having a blast. Tags on clothing, they send them into a spiral. The sound of a vacuum cleaner might as well be a fire alarm inside their brain. And every single day, you're exhausted from walking on eggshells, trying to prevent the next sensory explosion in your child. You've been told it's just a phase. You've been told that they're going to grow out of it. Some days you wonder, though, if you're doing something wrong. And if you're not being overly accommodating, or if other parents think you're just making an excuse for their bad behavior. But here's what nobody is telling you. Your child's nervous system is experiencing the world completely different than other kids. It's not a behavioral issue. It's not a parenting problem. And it's definitely not something that they're doing on purpose. Today, we're going to explain exactly what's going on inside your child's body when they experience a sensory overload. While traditional approaches often plateau, and most importantly, how to finally help your child's nervous system find a balanced state. In the next few minutes, you're going to discover why these sensory processing challenges are actually a nervous system challenge, how something called the perfect storm sets kids up for sensory struggles, and why addressing the neurological foundation can change everything, just like it did for a practice member named Aria. Let me tell you about Aria. According to her parents, she was an extremely unhappy little girl. She refused to be in unfamiliar places with unfamiliar people. When her family tried to go out, which they would do occasionally, it would end up with Aria completely melting down from a sensory overload. Every outing was a gamble, and every new environment was a threat. Her nervous system was incredibly disproportionate in its balance. This is not rare though. Today, 1 in 6 children experience a sensory processing issue. That's millions of families dealing with the daily sensory struggles, being told to watch and wait, and just doing this while their child suffers. But Aria's story didn't end there. After starting neurologically focused chiropractic care, her parents witnessed something absolutely incredible. She went from a screaming little girl where now she's smiling ear to ear. She's happily greeting people that she's never met. Her sleep improved, her speech blossomed, and this child was once trapped in a sensory overwhelm until they finally found freedom. Freedom thanks to a balanced nervous system, which allows her body to be in a balanced state. And now she can enjoy the life that she has to live. See, sensory processing disorders is a nervous system problem. It is not a behavioral issue. Think of your child's nervous system as an air traffic controller, trying to coordinate thousands of flights all at once. In kids with sensory challenges, this air traffic controller is completely overwhelmed and not in a balanced state. When the nervous system can't properly filter and process sensory input, every day feels like being dropped into a chaotic carnival. The glaring lights, the screaming sounds, overwhelming smells, everything is spinning out of control. This affects the 7 senses. There's auditory, which is sound, visual, which is light, olfactory, which is smell, gustatory, which is taste and texture, tactile, which is touch, vestibular, which is balance, and the most important, proprioception, which is knowing where your body is in space. Out of all of these senses, proprioception is critical for the brain development and function. Yet this is one area that nobody even speaks about. There are 3 different types of sensory challenges that tell us really what's going on inside your child's brain. There's the hypersensitive kid who has an overactive response to normal input. They're the ones who are covering their ears, ripping off tags, melting down in crowded places. Their nervous system is stuck in overdrive. Hyposensitive kids are the opposite. They need intense input just to feel regulated. They're constantly touching, crashing into things, seeking that sensory input that their nervous system craves. Now, most kids, they have both, which seems confusing until you understand that their nervous system is dysregulated. It swings between these extremes, trying to find balance. When you see these patterns, you're not just seeing a difficult behavior. You're seeing a nervous system that's stuck and cannot self-regulate. Our body's nervous systems are designed to be in balance, not stuck in fight or flight, not stuck in rest or digest, but having the ability to go back and forth when necessary. Now, this perfect storm creates sensory challenges. Sensory issues don't just appear randomly. They develop throughout what we call the perfect storm, which is a series of stressors that accumulate from pregnancy through early childhood. It starts with prenatal stress, stress that mom goes through during her pregnancy, physical, chemical, and emotional. Then the birth trauma or the interventions. And then it's followed by early challenges like colic or constipation or frequent use of antibiotics. Each stressor adds another layer of tension to their nervous system until it gets stuck into a sympathetic overdrive. Like a smell, it's like a smoke alarm that just will not go off. These stressors affect your child on an accumulatory effort. This creates something called dysautonomia, where the nervous system literally cannot turn to a calm, regulated baseline. It's not your child's fault. And there's an opportunity to identify this stressor and get the body back into a balanced state. Now, traditional therapies often hit a plateau if they don't get worse. Things like occupational therapy and sensory integration therapy are incredibly valuable. But when the nervous system foundation is stuck in a stress mode, it's like trying to remodel a house built on a cracked foundation. Until you get that healthy foundation, which is the nervous system, balanced, you're not going to be able to build that house upright. You cannot teach coping strategies to a nervous system that's neurologically stuck in fight or flight mode. It just will not retain its efforts. Many families add therapy after therapy, but without addressing the neurological root cause, progress stalls. It's like pushing a car with the parking brakes still on. It's just not going to move very effectively. This is why so many parents feel frustrated when their child works so hard in therapy but can't generalize those skills to real life. Here's what we want you to remember. Your child is not broken. They're stuck. Their nervous system is trapped in a pattern that can be shifted. When we address the neurological root cause through neurologically focused chiropractic care, we help to release that tension on their nervous system. We restore balance. We help your child's brain finally process the world without the constant overwhelm. You don't need more labels, and you don't need to watch and wait. You need answers and actions. At Maximize Chiropractic, we specialize in working with children who have sensory imbalances. We use technology like the Insight neurological scans to identify this autonomic imbalance. We use very specific and very safe chiropractic adjustments to aid in balancing and restoring the nervous system to get their body back into a balanced state. Click on the link in the bio below. Take a look at our Facebook or Instagram page. Take a look at YouTube. Find the education to empower you to help your child move in the right direction.